Welcome into a brand new edition of What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo.
I'm Jim.
Yeah,
Bartoo.
I'm Devon.
Yep.
We have so much fun doing these shows, and we hope you enjoy meeting all the animals and learning about them. We get first, like a really up-close chance to meet the zookeeper who takes care of the animals. Today we're meeting
We're meeting a primate keeper today. That's right. And we're in Bamboo Trail, and Bamboo Trail actually has 6 exhibits inside of this beautiful bamboo forest that you can walk around in. And I really like Bamboo Trail. It's been here since 2003. And what I like about it is when you're walking around the zoo and you walk into Bamboo Trail, the temperature drops about 5 or 6 degrees while you're here, and it's just a beautiful place to kind of hang out. And inside of here we got lots of different animals. We're going to talk about the lemurs today, so we have a primate keeper coming in to talk about lemurs. But first, we got some events coming up that we should talk about.
Oh yeah, because if you like butterflies and bees and little things that fly, we call them pollinators. And Pollinator
Day. Yeah, it's going to be June 28th, this Pollinator Day. Let's talk about bees for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, when you see bees like little honeybees, they're not actually from here. They're not from the Americas. They're from Europe. They came over. They were imported many, many years ago. The actual native American bees are small. They're little tiny black bees, right? And they feed on certain types of flowers, native flowers, right? This is what they use to pollinate. So a lot of the gardens that people build today have flowers in them that bees, the native bees, can't actually eat. They don't like to eat any of that. So planting native pollinator gardens uses native plants to be able to allow those bees to feed and procreate and move on and pollinate all the different things that we have. If you really want to make a difference in conservation within your own backyard, a pollinator garden is really a great way to start. It is the basis, the foundation for how a lot of our food system works, a lot of the conservation system.
And some of the things, well, I know that you can get actually something called a butterfly bush, which is beautiful, and they love those, but there's lots of other flowers.
There's lots of native plants that you can go into. There's a whole pollinator packet that you can buy, and you don't need to have a lawn. I would encourage you to change your lawn from grass to a pollinator garden, because bees and pollinator insects don't eat grass. It's a barren wasteland, right? So they need a garden. So I would encourage you to do that, but you don't have to have a lawn. You can have a little box to plant it in on the back of your porch or the back of your deck. If you're in an apartment, you can put it on the back of your deck and have pollinators come up and enjoy that. And it really helps to increase that basis of pollinators within the United States. Come to the zoo on the 28th of June and we can tell you all about it. We've got an actual bee colony, the ones from Europe. We have a beehive that we collect honey from, so you can come and see those as well.
And they're fuzzy. I love honeybees.
Little fuzzy bees,
they're the cutest little things. Sometimes you see stuffies and they're fuzzy. Well, so are bees.
Just don't pet them. Don't try to pet them. Right.
But they're not out to sting you. They're not. So if you see a bee in the wild, just let it be. See, did you get what I did?
I did. Yeah, I got what you did there. So coming up after that in July and August, right?
Yes.
It starts to get a little warm outside. I don't know if you've noticed, but in the summertime down here, July and August can get a little hot. We're going to have a series of Saturdays called Summer Splash Saturdays. Every Saturday in July and August, we're going to have water activities out at the zoo. Water activities for kids, ice treats for the animals, lots of different ways you can come out and watch animals cool off and participate in cooling off. They're still kind of building what this event is going to look like, but I have heard word about Nerf gun water fights and slides, water slides and things like that you can enjoy. Watermelon eating contests and things like that. So lots of different things you can enjoy. No, you don't need floaties. You may want to bring a change of underwear, but you don't need floaties for that. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to just bring something if you want to stay cool and you just really need that. Hey, by the way, if you need to stay cool, we've got a really great sponsor that can help you.
That's right. Yeah, Busy Bee.
Yeah.
We're back to bees again.
I know. That's kind of what we do. Busy Bee is the place that you call if your air conditioner goes out. You know it this time of year, so make sure you give them a call.
That's right, yeah. Okay, so, and I have an announcement. If you didn't see last month's show, we're opening up Leopard Forest. Woo! It's a brand new area that's opening up. It opens up on June 20th, so you can come out and see giraffes again. You know, the giraffes will be open again.
We have been waiting. They have been so displaced because of all the construction, but now their habitat is finished.
That's well, the giraffe exhibit has always been there, right? Yeah. It's the trail that leads up to it, and it's called Leopard Forest.
Yes.
And so as you're making your way up to giraffes, you're now going to walk through a new trail that's going to take you past 4 new exhibits with 5 animals in it, featuring more leopards is the big one that's there, but we also have Debrazis monkeys, Colobus monkeys, Klipspringer, and Hyrax. And if you don't know what those are, Google it. I don't have time to explain it to you. You can pull them up then. Lots of great animals to see. And then giraffes is at the very end of that, so you'll be able to see our giraffes again.
If you think you've seen everything at the zoo, you have not, because this is a brand new exhibit and we've been waiting for it a long time. And with all the great parking that you have at the zoo now, more people can enjoy the park. But don't just show up. We ask that you go in, even if you've got even if you've got a membership, and get your tickets.
No, actually, members can now just come out anytime.
What?
You don't even have to.
New too.
You don't even have to make a reservation. If you got a membership, just show up, walk right in.
Another reason to have a family membership. Yet another reason.
I know, it's going to be great.
Remember that the zoo, the Nashville Zoo, is a nonprofit. It's a 501c3.
501c3 organization. That's right. Yeah. So we depend on support from the community to be able to grow and thrive. And that means coming to the zoo, buying a ticket, buying a membership, making a donation towards our conservation work, helping us build new exhibits, volunteering. There's so many different ways that you can get involved and support the zoo.
And it's a great place if you homeschool your kids. There's always something going on to learn at the zoo. That's why we do these shows too, because there's so many kids that are watching these shows and their parents too. You can find out all the zookeepers are around and the ambassador animals that go around. You can meet and sometimes even touch some of the animals.
We are dripping in education over here, so it's a fantastic time to come on out.
Well, speaking of education, we're about to meet the primate keeper.
That's right. That's right. We're going to talk to a keeper about these guys that are behind us, the ring-tailed lemurs and also red-ruffed lemurs. So
that's coming up later in the show. No matter what you do, make sure that whatever you're watching this on, whatever channel, that you subscribe and click the bell so that you know when we've got something new happening. What's new at the zoo? We'll be right back.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
833.
Bee, oh, busy bee.
Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now
busy
I'm ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
You girls having fun?
Yeah, I'm going to key of my own pretty soon. Me too.
Good night, Kia guy.
Good night.
Buckle up, Dad.
Are we there yet?
At Kia of Murfreesboro, we're here whether you're ready or not. Dental and vision. We love your whole face. See us at deltadentalpn.com.
If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing weather report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
Welcome back in for another segment of What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo. And we have a special guest, a primate keeper, and honestly the first primate keeper I have ever met, Seaton Trost. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I cannot wait to learn about these ring-tailed lemurs. Who knew that they were a primate?
That's right. Yeah. Actually, when you think primates, you think monkeys. So,
yeah.
But these don't look like monkeys. What makes them primates?
No, they don't. They're actually what's called a prosimian. So they're not a monkey and they're not an ape. They're their own type of primate classification. And they are the oldest primate that we have on the planet. They are classified by a primate basically by their characteristics and their smarts.
They're what?
They're smarts.
Their intelligence.
They are.
Oh, okay. All right. Fantastic.
They do seem very smart. They move kind of people-like. It's very strange to watch them.
They do, yes. But
they're hanging out in the sun, holding on, going, yeah, I'm just getting a little sun, a little vitamin D action.
Oh, yes.
Well, I hear they like to move it. Tell me a little bit about ring-tailed lemurs and lemurs in general.
So ring-tailed lemurs, they are one of over 100 species of lemurs. Lemurs are only found on the island of Madagascar. Okay. That's the only place on the planet that has them.
Which is off the coast of Africa.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes. Ring-tailed lemurs specifically are a ground lemur, so they're mostly found in high grasslands. Their tails help them see each other as they go through the tall grasses. And they also, while they are known to move it, they are they fight for dominance by doing a thing called stink fighting with those tails.
What?
Stink fighting?
Yeah, stink fighting.
Explain what that means.
So stink fighting means they rub their scent from their ankles and their wrists all over their tail, and then they hit each other with it until one lemur can no longer stand the smell of the other, and the stinkiest lemur is now your dominant one.
I have a new defense when I am out at night. I'm going to be using that.
The stink fight.
The stink fight, yeah. That's gonna take everybody off guard when I pull off the stink fight.
If you're an elementary school boy who's watching this, you're going to remember this out of all the interview.
That's right, yeah. Man, you learn something new every day. So they're only found on the island of Madagascar. There's 100 different species.
Yes.
Are they all the same size? Kind of talk to me a little bit about all the different types.
So they're anywhere from the size of a mouse, which is a mouse lemur, to as large as about a German shepherd, which is an Indri lemur. Wow. So they range quite vastly in their size.
Right.
They all have very similar hair, such as that fluffiness, but they have different sizes all across.
Gotcha. So, in people in general, the vast majority of people are never going to be able to visit the island of Madagascar. If people were to go to zoos in the United States and try to see these animals in under human care, would they be able to see all 100 species, or are there some species that you just can't see unless you go see them in the wild?
Most species don't do well off of Madagascar, so when you come to zoos, you'll see about 15 different species.
Okay, 15 different species
Yes.
are what you can see if you're going to see them under human care.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Is this a breeding pair?
This is actually a bachelor troop. So we have 3 older boys who are all retired together.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging
out
out.
on a nice
checkers.
Saturday,
Yeah.
watching the ball game. Do they
Waiting
fight with
for
each
lunch.
other? Do they stink fight each other, or do they get along pretty well?
They do stink fight each other. We mainly see it in November through February, which would be their normal breeding season.
Gotcha. And even though there's no female around for them to fight over, they're still fighting with each other.
Yes, and typically the species is a female-dominated species. So when it's 3 males, they kind of have to figure out who's in charge on their own.
Gotcha.
Because if they're a woman, she's in charge.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
exactly.
She's in charge.
See, I love that.
Do we have any plans to bring a female in to breed?
Not with these guys. We're just going to keep them a bachelor troop for the rest of their life.
Okay. And then conservation work. Tell me a little bit about conservation work that's out there for lemurs in general and what Nashville Zoo is doing specifically.
Nashville Zoo is partnering with a group called SAVA, and SAVA does what most of the conservation groups in Madagascar does, and they focus on three main things. They focus on farming, education, and research.
Okay, and farming, what does that mean? Tell me a little bit about what that means.
It means teaching people how to farm their own food so they don't have to turn to lemurs.
Okay.
Because unfortunately a lot of times it comes down to a lemur's a dinner there in Madagascar.
So they actually eat them over there?
Yes.
Okay.
So if we teach them farming and the importance of conservation, because they have this diverse group of animals only there, we're able to teach them how to sustain themselves without having to interfere with the lemur's way of life.
Is Madagascar a big tourism destination for people because of lemurs?
It's becoming more and more.
Okay.
We also partner with different groups to make sure that the tourists are going to areas where they are safely seeing the lemurs.
Gotcha.
We don't want to leave any trace that we were there, and we don't want to interfere with the lemurs as well.
Okay. And then we have actually, ring-tailed lemurs are not the only lemurs we have here. Tell me a little bit about what else we have.
We also have red ruff lemurs here at the Nashville Zoo.
Oh yes, and we're going to go see them in the next segment as well. So
red ruff lemurs, see? Ring-tailed lemurs, red ruff lemurs. We're going to learn the difference.
Yep, right after this break.
Hey, before we go to break, can you touch them? As the zookeeper who takes care of them, are they aggressive?
These guys are not aggressive with people they know. However, we do have to wear masks, different shoes, and gloves around them because anything we have, we can give to them, and anything they have, they can give to us because we are all primates. We're pretty similar in what diseases we carry.
So we share a lot of similar genes, which means that we can also pass a lot of disease back and forth.
Yes. And these guys only like to be touched for training, so we only go in there to train them for different behaviors.
What's their favorite treat?
Their favorite treat is grapes because they don't get very much fruit.
See? Don't you learn a lot at What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo?
Yeah.
And Seaton, we're so glad to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing what you know about these ring-tailed lemurs.
Oh, we're not done. We're pulling Seaton up to the red ruff lemurs. We're going to talk to her about all the lemurs up there now.
We're going to learn all about it, but stay with us.
Girls having fun?
Yeah, I'm going to key of my own pretty soon. Me too.
Good night, Kia guy.
Good night.
Buckle up, Dad.
There yet?
At Kia of Murfreesboro, we're here whether you're ready or not.
Let us connect you with a team that you'll be bedazzled by when you connect with Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Let's meet the team. This is Charles Calvert, known as One Take. He's the plumbing service manager. Here we have Matt Cook. He's known as Big Country. He's the HVAC service manager.
Visit Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning for all your needs.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
Hi,
I'm Missy Acosta.
And I'm Stephanie Miller.
We're here with Community Checkup, and we would love for you to join us each month as we dive a little deeper into different organizations and events, happenings around Middle Tennessee.
You can find our Community Checkup episodes through our Main Street Media publications. Just go to the top of the page and click on How to Stream. You'll find Main Street Media TV on Apple, Amazon, and Roku. We'll also make it easy for you. Just download our mobile app, Main Street Media TV Mobile. You'll have all of our episodes right there at your fingertips.
And poof, we're at the red ruff lemur.
That's right, we're back with Seton.
Yes. And Seton, you were telling me some really interesting things about these particular lemurs. For instance, I saw them grooming each other. There's a fascinating little thing about their mouths, about their teeth.
Yes, so the front part of their teeth are all fused together like a built-in comb, and they will use it to brush each other and themselves, and that's a way they build relationships with other members of their troop.
Well, we talked about our ringtail lemurs, that they're a matriarchal society. Yes. Women run the show. Well, this group, the red ruff lemur, actually has a few girls in this little family.
Yes, so we have a family of 5. We have mom, dad, uncle, sister, and brother. Their ages range from 1 to 8. And sister's starting to get a bit older, so she's challenging mom to see if she has a chance to be in charge. Mom right now is telling her, no, I'm still in charge.
What does that look like during that challenge? I mean, if people were to come up and look, how do we know when there's a challenge that's being made?
It's a lot of chattering, and it looks like a lot of running around. So it might look very chaotic, but it's just a different way for them to tell each other who's in charge.
Do they make a vocal sound?
They do. It almost sounds like a bird chirping.
Can you imitate it for us?
Oh, not well.
Okay, all right. It was worth the shot, right?
If we hang on long enough, chances are they might do it. What do you think? What do you think? We were laughing at Dad, and Dad he just kicked back. He's just like, he's not worried about any of the challenge or anything. Do any of the guys try to jockey for his position?
He has been able to hold it pretty strong right now. Our oldest lemur, who's uncle, he decided he doesn't really want to be that in charge, so he's actually the lowest ranking, and our youngest is above him. So it kind of just depends on their personality.
That's fascinating. Now, how do these differ from ringtail lemurs?
Well, ringtail lemurs spend most of their time on the ground. These guys spend almost their entire life up in the trees.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
That explains it.
Explain why they're up in this whole climbing structure thing.
Yes.
All right. Fantastic.
How do they handle heat?
These guys, they handle heat pretty well. Once it gets like over the hundreds, we'll have to give them some access and some spring water and whatnot to keep them cool. But they are really good at regulating their own heat.
Mm-hmm. And do they come from Madagascar too, like we learned earlier?
They do. They come from a different part that's a bit more rainforest, so their hair is a bit more waterproof too.
Oh, that's interesting to know. Is there any difference in how you care for these guys versus how you care for the ringtail lemurs?
The main difference is going to be their diet. The ringtail lemurs eat almost exclusively vegetables, where these guys eat mostly fruit. So we have to care for them differently that way. And then while the ringtail lemurs are a bachelor group, more established, this group requires more observations as we go through the different age stages, as well as during breeding season to keep an eye on if they're breeding, so we know when to expect more.
Gotcha. And observations, what are you looking for when you're observing?
We're looking for who's hanging out with who, where they're hanging out with, if anyone's chasing anyone away from food, just different indications that there might be a change in the hierarchy.
Yeah, and this is important for people to know. So keepers spend hours and hours with these animals, caring for these animals. They know more about these animals and these particular individuals than anybody else. So if something were to go wrong, if they were to look sick or tired or something, they were injured in any way, keepers are the ones that are going to see that first, and they're going to see it early. And this helps with zoo care because they can alert the vet team, and the vet team can come in and take a look at that. This is really important that people know that about keepers. Keepers don't just come in and pet the animals and feed them and clean up after them and then they're done for the day. There's so much more involved in that.
Yes.
Yeah, and that includes study, and sometimes that study results in research that's being done by keepers and so on and so forth. So it's really important to know the quality of work that goes in for animal care, and a lot of it has to do with the work that Seton and all the other keepers around the zoo do.
Do they go in at night? Do you have a structure here that they go inside at night, or do they sleep outside?
These guys, they go in at night. If they choose they want to stay outside, we won't force them inside. They can stay outside under the stars. We try and encourage them to come in just so with the weather in Tennessee, we kind of know where they are at night. But if they want to stay outside, they can stay outside.
Are there any predators to lemurs in the wild?
In the wild, their main predators are going to be what's called a fossa. It's a type of carnivore, and some large snakes, as well as unfortunately
Snakes?
Yes, yeah, large snakes.
Okay, now we have learned on other zoo shows that a snake cannot open its mouth larger than what the rest of its body can handle.
Typically,
That
yeah.
is a big snake that can eat one of these. I'm telling you,
Yes.
that's a scary thing. Don't ever bring one of those around me.
A
They love bringing the snakes
a lemur
around.
eating snake?
I don't
I'll
want
keep that
a
in mind.
lemur eating snakes around me.
No lemur eating snakes around here. All right, that's good to know. What is the one thing that you would hope that anybody that comes to the zoo to look at red ruffed lemurs or even ring-tailed lemurs, what's the one thing that you really want people to know about lemurs?
Lemurs are actually one of the world's largest pollinators. So a lot of times we think of bees like what we have in our backyard, but when these guys eat flowers or walk through the forest, they're actually pollinating the forest they live in.
That is a great point, because I know we talk about pollinators a lot. We have on this show quite a bit, and that's what we talk about. We talk about flying insects and things that do that, but it goes beyond that.
It does, yes.
That's
Who
fantastic.
knew? A lemur is a pollinator. Pollinator Week, June 20. It's during the Pollinator Day is June 28th.
That's right, yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll have something on lemurs during Pollinator Day.
See, especially now. Hey, we do have a question about this. How many types of monkeys are in? This is not a monkey. This is as it were. But how many species of monkeys will be in the Nashville Zoo when the new exhibit opens?
We will have 3. We'll have our spider monkeys, which you can see now, and then we'll have our colobus monkeys and our DeBraza monkeys.
Yes, Jennifer wanted to know that, and she lives in Franklin, and she wrote in and said she loves the monkeys.
Right, yeah. Well, and keep in mind that gibbons, which you'll see in Gibbon Island when you walk in, those aren't monkeys, those are apes, right? Yes. So you have to define the difference, and a lot of people kind of group all those primates in together, and that's a good difference to be able to make. So technically three monkey species, we have 2 different ape species, and we have 2 different Persimmon species.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
And we have a tamarin species too in the bathroom.
That's right, we have a tamarin species, and it's in the ladies' bathroom.
Oh,
so
that's
only the
what's
ladies
in there.
can see it. That's right.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
They look like little old men with their little white hair.
Super surprised when you go over to the Andy and Bear exhibit and go into the ladies' restroom, you will see a surprise exhibit in there.
Yes.
Yep. And we have something for the men too in Entry Village. You can go to the men's room in there. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's above the urinals. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, by the way, a good time to remind you that if you don't have a zoo membership, that's how you support these wonderful things at the Nashville Zoo. And it's the greatest thing. It's like a vacation every day because nothing is ever the same at the Nashville Zoo.
It's always something different to be able to do. And we have to thank our sponsors too before we leave. Let's not forget that.
That's right. Key of Murfreesboro, one of the best service departments ever. They always win those customer satisfaction contests. So go see them and tell them we sent you.
That's right. We also have Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Now's a great time to be able to check out those heating and cooling units before the weather gets too hot. Give Busy Bee a call. They can help you out. You got any plumbing issues, give these guys a call. They'll knock it out for you.
And if you've got a question for our show, send me a question and say, hey, what's new at the zoo, Devon? DevonO'Day@gmail.com. Easy to reach me, and would love to hear from you and would love to find out what you want to know on another show. Maybe there's an animal we haven't talked about. Don't ask about elephants. We don't have any elephants.
No elephants. Yep.
Except
and we
maybe
don't
in
have
the
any
gift
big
shop.
lemur eating snakes either.
No lemur eating snakes, thank goodness, right? Remember the website to look for is nashvillezoo.org, right?
That's right, nashvillezoo.org. You can find everything you ever wanted to know about us right there.
Thank you, Seton, for being a guest on our show and for turning us on to some new primates you might not have known before. That's kind of what we do here at What's New at the Zoo. Thank you, Jim Bartoo.
Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.